Hey everyone, Dan at Ochiko Bushcraft. Well, you guys might remember last time I was out here with my new Esee Junglas, testing it out, that I use it to get a one-stick fire. Well, this time I'm going to test it out on helping me get some shelter. Now, I've got my tarp here stretched out on a ridge line between two trees, but I don't have any tent stakes with me to stake it down. So I'm going to need to make me some tent stakes. And I also need to get some boughs so that I'm insulated from the ground underneath it. Fortunately, it's been storming a lot out here and there's a lot of blowdowns. And so finding something with boughs is really easy right now. But before I start, I got a little something I want to show you guys. So there's a lot of wild turkey in this area, and it looks like something came out here and had a wild turkey for lunch. So just a little ways from our camp, we found the remains of a wild turkey. I'm not sure if it was a cat or what, but something had a wild turkey for lunch. Unfortunately, it wasn't us. That's right. But anyway, guys, got my Esee Junglas. This is the second part in testing it out to perform different survival tasks. We did the one stick fire, worked perfectly, gave me my shavings, gave me my kindling. Well, now in order to have shelter here, I need some tent stakes carved and made, and I need some boughs to insulate me from the ground. So got me a piece of willow here, which is just perfect for getting a couple stakes from. So I'm gonna go ahead and chop me 2 stakes to start with. Nice. And as I said before, this knife is an amazing chopper, so it's doing exactly what it's supposed to. So that'll make a nice steak right there, and we'll do another one here. So let's take that right about here in the middle. Perfect. And it's gonna be a little crooked, but I think it'll work anyway. We'll do this one right about here. All right. All right, so in order to stake that tarp down, I'm gonna need to point these. I'm gonna need to shear up the ends so that I can hammer them in without damaging them, causing them to split. And I'm also gonna need to put a stake notch in each one. So I'll start here by pointing them. And the ground right here is soft, so it's not going to be a problem getting them in. Nice. And go ahead and get me, make sure you guys can see. Look at that. This knife just carves amazing, you know. And that's what I'd said in my last video. In order for this to be the perfect survival knife, it has to be able to do small carving tasks well. If I'm fighting, struggling, or the knife isn't performing, then it's not going to work as the perfect survival knife. And that is perfect. So it got me a nice 7-notch, got my point. I'm going to round off the end here. Just take a little chunk off all the way around. Now when I hammer that down into the ground, it's not going to split. It's going to go down nice and easy. And go ahead and I'm going to do the exact same thing on this one. Point it. And you can see this is just fast and easy. Perfect. Stake notch again in the upper end. I'll either put the loops right around there, or I will of my tarp, or I'll use some parachute cord, one or the other. Beautiful. Nice. It's doing the job just magnificent. Nice big chunks coming out very easily. Just about. There we go. That'll work. Another nice 7 notch. And again, I'll square up the end here. And that'll enable me to pound that down without splitting. So, got me a couple stake notches. I'm going to stake down the back of this tarp. So if you guys will bear with me for just about a couple seconds. In fact, one more thing I'm going to do. I need a baton. This is a little bit too long here. So, let's go ahead and there we go. Baton. Go pound these in. So, give me just a second, guys. One down, one to go. All right. So, tent stakes, got my tarp set up, made a baton, pound them down in, got me a nice shelter, get out of the weather. If we get another thunderstorm today, I'll be out of the rain. But I want to be insulated from the ground. So, as I said, there was a lot of crashed trees from the storms we've been having. And turn that. Now, what I'm doing here, guys, if I didn't have my tarp and I actually needed an emergency shelter, fir boughs over the top of, say, a lean-to, and then pine needles and whatnot on top of that. Well, look how fast and how easy I've got my ground insulation or cover using the Esee Junglas. So that quick and easy. I've got ground insulation, or as I said, if I actually needed to put up an emergency lean-to, in just minutes I would have enough to cover my roof and insulate me from the cold ground. So the question that we asked in the first video, can the Esee Junglas perform all the tasks of survival? Well, in video number 1 we got fire. Video number 2 we got shelter. So far the answer is yes, it can, and it's doing it amazingly easy. Thanks guys for tuning in to Ochiko Bushcraft, and stay tuned for another episode of testing out the Esee Junglas survival knife.